Welcome to the lair of the Batty Boffin.
Hi there Batty fans, a little bit of GCSE higher exam practice with the Batty Boffin, aided of course by Bathilda, the Batty cat. Now in this particular question, Bathilda is sat on the far side of a bank of a river. If I stand at this point and look at Bathilda, I can see that she's at an angle of 72 degrees. I walk 120 metres along the bank and this time she's at an angle of 47 degrees. Now from these we can calculate the distance that Bathilda is away. And we need to know that because Bathilda's food is over here, she is over there, she's a hungry cat. But she's only got her 100 metres swimming breaststroke certificate. So the question is, can Bathilda make it across the river? Is it less than 100 metres wide? That's all you have to do. I'll see you in a minute. Right, there are several ways of doing this. I'm actually going to do it using the sine rule. Now the sine rule, I hope you remember, applies to any triangle, and it says that if the sides are A, B and C, the corners being the opposite are A, B and C, then the sine rule tells us that A over sine A is equal to B over sine B, which is equal to C over sine C. Now for this you need to have a side and an opposite angle, which we haven't actually got here, but we can get it from that 72 and 47, gives us an angle of 61 up here. We can then do some opposites. I'm going to find L, the length of that side. You could do this side, it doesn't make any difference. So using these opposites here, we're going to have that 120 over sine 61 is equal to L over sine 47. Okay, so the opposite one's there. So just rearranging that for L, we get 120 divided by the sine of 61, which comes to that, multiplied by the sine of 47, gives us 100.344 by the time we've rounded it there. So L equals 100.344. And that looks quite reasonable. Now for the second part, let's just rub this down here. We need to find the actual width of the river. I'll drop a little vertical down there. That's W, the width of the river. And that has to be less than 100 for Bathilda to be able to swim across it. It's looking quite reasonable at the moment, isn't it? Because that's 100.344. So a little bit of ordinary trigonometry here. We've got a right angled triangle. We want the opposite side. So using the fact that sine is opposite over hypotenuse, that's your soch of SOHCAHTOA. We want the opposite. So we are going to do sine times hypotenuse. So that's the sine of 72 multiplied by the hypotenuse, which is the thing we have just calculated. Okay, so that number there multiplied by the sine of 72 equals, and we get 95.43. Okay, 95.43 metres. For W, the width. So the answer is yes, Bathilda can swim across the river to get to her food on the other side because she can swim 100 metres and it's only 95 metres wide. So hooray, happy cat. Right, that's enough for this one. I'll see you next time on another bit of exam revision. See you next time, Batty fans.